All right, we're back for another Friday financial wrap up on the road with Mr. Michael Zuber. How are you, buddy?
I just want the audience to realize how important both Ty and I take these weekly wrap ups. We talk all the time. We look forward to it. We wrap, we learn, but we even make sure to do it when we're doing something else. So Ty's on the road. There's a highway called Highway 5, middle of nowhere, California. And he found a spot with a reasonably strong signal, pulled over, and he's going to spend 20 minutes, creating value for the audience. So Ty, I appreciate you. The audience appreciates you. Thanks for doing this.
I appreciate you and all of the work you do. So let's get into it. Now, we're recording this. This is for October the 4th, 2024. We're actually recording this on Thursday, the day before. What's happening tomorrow and why is that significant?
Well, tomorrow is our third, final, and most important jobs number. Tomorrow, we will hear from Bureau of Economic, Labor, and Statistics how many jobs were created in the month of September. Expectations are for 150. And we will hear about the unemployment rate, which is expected to be 4.2. This could be market moving either way. If the jobs number is high, it can move the market. If the jobs number is low, move the market. Again, we have a Fed that has initiated a rate cutting cycle. They have essentially declared victory on inflation and are now most concerned with jobs. So we should be looking at jobs. And tomorrow is the third and final jobs number and arguably the most important of the week.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you've been talking about jobs all year and how that would really influence the Fed and really play into what's really going on in the market. Tell us, what is the JOLTS report and what happened this week?
Yeah. So the first jobs report we get 3 every month, typically the first week of the month. The first one is called the JOLTS report. It's pretty complex, but what for you and I, it's basically job openings. How many job openings? And for probably the last 4 or 5 months, it's been significantly declining. It was over 10 million. It got as low as 7.6 or 7.7 million. So pretty steadily dropped. The job market is softening or weakening. The expectation is that would continue. And it didn't. It actually jumped to 8.2. So again, we got a stronger than expected jobs number for the first of 3. The job market is not deteriorating, at least by the numbers, as much as a lot of people think. So the first of 3 numbers, better than expected.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Better than expected. Talk about ADP, private payroll. Why is that significant? What is it? What happened this week?
So ADP is usually, if not always, the second of 3 jobs numbers we get. And ADP is private payrolls. ADP last month was the first jobs number to really report it weakness. And that's what we got in the Friday number last month was a weak number. ADP this month, again, higher than expected. It's the second of 3 reports higher than expected. It showed growth in construction and leisure and, hospitality. Really, the negative was manufacturing. But ADP report, again, more than expected. So 2 out of the 3 jobs numbers for the month of September, better than expected.
Very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people are scratching their head. Okay, what does this all mean? We'll tie a bow on it at the very end. Stay to the end. We'll talk about it. What happened with mortgage rates? What are you seeing in mortgage this week?
Well, again, mortgage rates kind of reacted differently than most average person would think. They think the Fed cuts 50, mortgage rates should fall. That's not how it works, folks. Mortgage rates fall in anticipation. So mortgage rates are up. And again, remember what we said at the opening. The market is cutting because they think the job market is weaker. So the 2 reports that have happened already are stronger. So rates have moved up. So mortgage rates are higher, not meaningfully higher. I think they bottomed at 6.11. I think today they're 6.22. But they are higher than probably most people would expect because the job market, again, based on 2 of the 3 reports, not as weak as expected.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And we'll tie it all together. And I think this next topic, the yield curve. Explain to people the yield curve and maybe even in a simple way, explain the difference between long-term money, short-term money, and tie that all together.
Yeah. So typically when you are borrowing money, it is cheaper to borrow money and pay it back tomorrow than it is to borrow money for 10 years, right? Typically speaking, you're willing to, lend money out for a 1 day at 3 or 4%, get it back, you're good. Where at 10 years, maybe you want 5 or 6. So essentially, the longer the duration, the higher the return should be. That's why the yield curve typically, looks like this, right? Short end, long end. And for 2 years, we have had yield curve inversion, where it was cheaper to borrow long than short. That is not normal. We have now de-inverted. I believe what we are on the cusp of is a long-term yield steepening, where the short end falls and the long end stays flat.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people are going to get caught by surprise. So I expect as the rates continue to be cut by the Fed, that the short end will fall. But I don't expect the 10-year to move very much. In fact, I believe the 10-year will move a lot less than the experts think, which will then roll into mortgage rates, because the mortgage rates are pegged to the 10-year plus a spread. So you got to watch the yield curve. I think it's going to steepen more than people think.
Yeah. Very, very well said. You talked about it on the daily financial news as well, just, breaking it down. Let's talk about the neutral rate. What is the neutral rate? What does that mean? And what happened?
Yeah. So basically, the neutral rate is something that's understood in theory, but can't be calculated. It's also something that is probably ever changing. And what the Fed is trying to do is get to a point where the Fed rate is neither expansion or contraction. And right now, they are operating in a world that's very contraction. Cost of money is too much. So you're seeing a lot of contraction. So the Fed took an aggressive cut a couple of weeks ago, cutting 50, because they needed to get back to neutral quickly. The question is very quickly going to become, where is neutral? Well, we know it's not 5.25. We know it's not 4.75. Is it 4? Is it 3.5? Is it 3? Is it 2.5? No one knows, but that's going to eventually be the big adjustment by the Fed, is kind of arguing what is neutral. We don't know, but we have a rate cutting cycle and it started. So there we go.
There we go. And again, I'm going to ask at the end and tie together some questioning about 30-year mortgage and what to expect and, what's realistic. Let's talk about, there's something else I heard. I don't quite know all the details, but steadily, something about a new insurance partner. What is that all about? Let people know what's going on there.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've tried to do with one rental at a time is bring on, industry folks who serve the community, right? That's their focus. And obviously a lot of my community are landlords. And you're part of the hub call, right? Where we talk about cancellations in California all the time. I have had some, you have had some. But when I look at finding a provider, I want somebody that's national, because again, my channel is national. And a lot of the brokers that I talked with is like, I'm in Texas, I'm in Florida, I'm here. It's not helpful. It's wonderful. I love their support, but I can't bring it to the audience. So Dana Dunford, the CEO of Hemlane, who comes on every Thursday, mom and pop landlord property management, she made an introduction to the CEO of Steadily. I talked to them, casual conversation. I said, hey, why don't we do one phone call with my audience, right? One Zoom call with my audience and see what the audience thinks. I'm willing to give you a shot. And basically, Steadily provides insurance only for landlords, not homeowners, not autos, none of these other things. So they're only focused on landlords. Mom and pop, right? They only do residential. They'll max out at a 10-unit building. So they're not doing big apartments. They seem to be laser focused. So I had them on the other day. They gave me a link to track, and it looks like 137 folks reached out. It appears about half the people or so got better quotes. About half the people got worse quotes, meaning price. They do seem to have a pretty good service level. It seems like everybody is getting something in 24 or 48 hours, which is crazy, because my insurance brokers who I've known for years, I'm not getting quotes for 7 to 10 days.
Yep.
Right. And I'm getting great service. So, I don't know where this goes. I know I have a hole on my channel, insurance. Steadily feels like they're helping people. But I don't know. But I was glad to bring them on. We'll see if we bring them on again. I just want to make sure we're adding value, and I know I have a hole with insurance, so I'm trying to find a provider.
I love it. Will you be able to post a link in the show notes here?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's important. I think even now I'm thinking like there's two or three properties that, I think everybody, the viewers out there, this is could be a great resource. So thank you for
Yeah,
working on
and let's be clear. Let's be clear on a couple of things. I think if you own properties, you should take one or two of them and see if Steadily's better. If they
Yep.
are, great. If they're not, who cares? They're no harm, no foul.
Yep.
Because you can cancel a policy anytime and then get a refund. Um, but again, let's see. If you're an investor and you're writing deals, if you're writing offers, go get a quote. Let's make sure your formula has the right insurance number. Um, and if you get a cancellation or a denial for future, reach out. So at this point, it definitely seems like Steadily is helping as a something to put in the Rolodex. So I would tell somebody who has a unit, go get a quote. I mean, Olivia and I are doing it on a fourplex, a duplex, and a house just to see. So yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's keep going. Let's talk about this buyer's market. What are you seeing today? What are you seeing this week?
So the buyer's market's still in force. I just want to take something that I got today. I took a picture of it because I wanted to make sure I read it accurately. Um, let me pull it up. So this is for you guys can go find this on my YouTube channel, but this is it says Dr. Zuber. Investors are buying. I'm just in contract on a single family home that was listed at 210. I am in contract at 175. I am also getting an $8,000 credit for minor structural problems, which I will use to put on a new roof. Folks, buyers are pulling back. The election, this, that, the other. Investors, this is your time. Disrespectful offers, follow up, credits, mortgage rate buydowns, only great deals. So it's here. It won't last long. Buyers markets don't last forever. It could be gone by January 15th. My
Yep.
guess is it's gone by February 15th. Take advantage. And more importantly, I talked to Jonathan Twomley, who plays in the big stuff. He and I did an interview today where he's the same thing's going on in commercial.
Yep.
Buyers are backing away. So if you happen to be in the market, you happen to be in, find a buyer who has to sell by December 31st for tax reasons, grind them, grind them, grind them. Get the best value you can. This buyer's market is for singles, units, big units. Take advantage. It won't last long.
So good. So much opportunity. What do you see? I mean, here we are, the last quarter, Q4, leaning into 2025. What are your kind of, just as we start to get into the end of the year, what are your thoughts on the new year, next year? What do you see in 2025? What are some of the patterns or shifts, or what can we expect?
Yeah. So I think total transactions still going to stay low, probably 4.2 million. It won't be 3.8 like we had last month.
Yep.
I mean, that's up 10%, but still below 5.6. So it's not great. I think the mortgage industry is out of the depression. I talked to two different mortgage providers today, and both of them said the entire mortgage industry is understaffed. This refi boom has caught them off guard. They need to hire people. What does that mean? It means they're getting tighter. They're not doing all the loans. They're not doing small loans. But I think by next year, they hire, they train. They're doing, the mortgage industry is growing again. I think the biggest thing where I disagree with a lot of experts is I think mortgage rates are going to be a lot stickier and frankly a lot higher than people think. Gun to head, I'm thinking 5.8 and above.
Yep.
Right. I don't see 5.5. I certainly don't see below 5. And and the reason we're at 5.8, that's why the market doesn't unlock. If we go below 5, let's just say it this way. If mortgage rates are below 5 by April, which again, I am not calling, but if we could do 5 million sales next year, because below 5 unlocks the move up buyer. Dude, we could do 5.5 million transactions if we go below 5. I just don't see it. I see 5.8. So that's my biggest current disagreement with the experts is rates are higher than they expect.
I want to chime in too here, something that's really important to connect the dots for a viewer or listener. Um, Now 30-year mortgages seem to trend and move based on unemployment or employment numbers. So as an example, a strong, good employment market, in this case, rates actually ticked up a bit.
Yep.
And so if in fact we're seeing rates drop down into the fives or even below five, then there's got to be something really going on economically, the recession, and not, I mean, it's going to be major economic problems
Yeah.
if we're.
All I would say is be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yep, absolutely. So let's talk about opportunity. What do you got? You got school community. I think you're what, 200 and I thought it was 275, 280 people.
Yeah, 286. We are now the number 3 real estate investing school. We are in the top 1% of real estate investing schools. I will not stop until we are number 1. Number 2 and number 1 are about 150 better than me, right? I think we're number 680 and they're like 530. So again, I need to keep adding value. Next week, for example, I'm doing a prop stream discussion on school, how to find deals, how to find mortgage balances, all of that. Prop
Yep.
stream helps investors like yourself and Jason Pritchard and Adrian all the time. So I'm going to bring that to the school community. We've got 3 accountability groups. We're adding more courses and value. But yeah, the community is growing. We're adding somebody almost every day. But I'm not done until we're number 1. You know, we went from number 4 last week to number 3. We got some work to do to get to number 2 and even more work to do to number 1, but I'm not done.
I want to hype this and say to the viewer or listener, like Michael and I had all these ideas of content and things, programs and courses and stuff that Michael has. And I'm like, dude, you should do this for $1,000 and that one for 500 and this one for 1,500 and all of that. And the next week, Michael goes, I'm going to give it all away for $20 a month on school. I just want you guys to understand there's probably no exaggeration. There's at least $2,500.
Oh,
maybe more,
yeah.
$5,000 worth of content that you get access to for $20 a month, like a Netflix subscription. So go sign up for school. It's the best value in any kind of real estate content. Michael?
No, again, why am I doing it? Why is it that price point? Because again, I'm playing a different game. I believe if I can build school up to what I see coming, it will be the thing I am known for long after I'm dead and gone. I believe if I build school correctly, it will continue to foster and grow, even if I'm dead, because of the accountability groups, because of everybody else that's contributing. My job is to get it to 200, which we've done. Now we're at 286. It's starting to build on itself, but I'm not done. And we're bringing unique content, opportunities, live Q&As. It's I'm having so much fun watching that thing grow.
I love it. I love it. Talk about Vegas. What's going on? Tell people Vegas. It's the holiday weekend. Tell them about the experience. What's available for them?
Yeah, President's Day weekend, 2 days. We go for 12 hours Saturday, 9 hours Sunday. So lots of content, 6 hours of networking. I'm feeding everybody this year. It's a big difference. You're going to get to ask each and every speaker questions. All my speakers come. We're going to have a millionaire panel to celebrate folks like Ty, Adrian that come that may not have their own speaking spot. It's going to be 400 or so people that are just go-givers. And like last year, the audience will make the event. It's off strip, so you don't have any distractions. And it's going to be a party atmosphere. I have got lots of surprises coming. I got awards for some of the audience members, which I'm really happy about. I have a lot of new speakers coming that didn't have a full speaking spot last time. So it's a lot of fun. If you go to the Eventbrite, there's actually an agenda. I put on an agenda. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to sell it out.
I want to tell people this is not one of those events to where you wait and January, like the tickets go on sale or get one. This is one that'll sell out within weeks, if not it'll sell out this quarter for sure.
I suspect, because I asked my audience the other day. I'm open book. I've sold 90. I've sold 20% of the tickets already. So we're 20% sold out. VIP is 50% sold out already. I asked the other day, Hey, I'm just curious, should I lower the quantity from 400 to 300? Because, that saves me 15 grand because I feed 100 less people, right? And I buy less chairs and I do this. It saves me 15 grand. And about 100 people reached out in 24 hours to say, I'm not going to buy till November. I'm not going to buy till early December. And yeah, I expect this to sell out sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas. This won't be available, I don't think, in January.
And it could sell out the month of October because
Good.
obviously the content, the school community, everything. It's just one of those things. If you really want to be in that room, folks, don't sleep on it. Buy your ticket now. Get
Yeah,
involved.
the crazy thing is if you really want to save money, because I don't discount tickets, the price is the price. I don't lower it for anybody. Um, Traveling to Vegas only gets more expensive.
Yep.
So if you want a hotel and flight, buy now. It's the cheapest. All right, you could actually save on flights and hotels and get your ticket net for free. So buy early.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to just one last thing I don't want to hit on is that again, I think you said this earlier in the morning. You think interest rates are probably going to bounce around somewhere between 5.8 to 6.2 and a six and a quarter,
Yeah,
somewhere in that's probably going to be the trend for 2025, right?
that's my current, gun to head guess. And, I'm wrong all the time. But yeah, I don't think there's
You're not wrong that much. I got to
not,
you're
but,
you're you're
but I'm
you're
humble.
wrong
I'm
every
humble.
now and then. You're pretty damn close. I would not want to play you in horseshoes because being
Yeah,
close
there you go.
matters too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people have recency bias and they don't understand that for 2 years we had a yield curve inversion. That is gone. And I think the yield curve steepens, and I think that's going to surprise a lot of people.
Very good, Michael. Thank you for all that you do. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, thanks for pulling over. It means a lot to me that this is that important to you. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Later. Bye.